Hi guys. Okay, so today I want to go ahead and talk about the difference between people who have been raised by narcissistic parents, and then there are people who just have a narcissistic ex-spouse or boyfriend. Okay, so what I learned recently through an issue that I had um, is that people who have narcissistic parents, they have been abused for a very, very long time. Whereas people who have a narcissistic ex-spouse, boyfriend, what have you, they haven't been abused as long. Well, most of them haven't. And not only that, their wounds are still so fresh because everything happened probably within like if they're just coming out of a marriage and like maybe 1 or 2 years later, they're still feeling everything because everything that happened to them with their ex had happened just throughout their marriage, whereas before, if they didn't have a narcissistic parent, they had a pretty decent life. Whereas people with narcissistic parents, it's been pretty much since birth. So that's all we really know. Now, I'm going to discuss something that kind of happened. So I decided to join a recovery group for people who have narcissistic spouses or ex-spouses. And I've been kind of having a slight issue with my ex. So I just kind of wanted to vent about it a little bit. And I got attacked. There was like 7 comments before I felt panic and then just deleted it and left. Got rid of the group. They pointed fingers at me, basically blaming me for allowing it to happen, like what he did. And they said it was my fault because I trusted him with something. And they said I shouldn't have trusted him with something. This is the issue that happened with me and my ex. I don't want to go into too many details now because I want things to finish, I guess. To go through all the stages it needs to go through before I'm gonna finally, I don't know, talk about it. I want there to be some sort of conclusion. So when it comes to your kid, which we share a mutual child, sometimes you have to rely on the other parent to help out a little bit. And when they don't help out, it gets very hard because you're pretty much doing everything on your own. So when you need a little help with something, you want to trust that other parent would do something for the child. It wasn't for me, it was for her. And things are coming to light right now, and the thing is I don't know, it's just very frustrating because this was, I don't really know. I don't know how to word things. I'm kind of speechless because the mix between what's going on with him and then also what happened with this supposed support group. But anyway, so you kind of want to trust the other parent to help out a little bit, especially when they're not really doing anything to help. So in the support group, they were just basically attacking me, saying it was my fault for trusting him and I should have known better and yada yada yada. But the thing is like, people, I guess, don't really have a narcissistic ex-spouse. Maybe their ex-spouse was just a dick, you know, and they weren't really a narcissist. Because if you truly know a narcissist, you know that they manipulate you into doing things. Like, even when my ex and I, like, we weren't together, but he was staying with me. We went to GameStop to go get something for our daughter. And he knew that I wanted a Wii U, but financially, it just wasn't a good choice for me to get. Somehow, he convinced me to get it, because that's what a narcissist does. And I straight out told him, I just don't really I can't financially get this right now. But I ended up getting it because he talked me into it. It's really sickening how he did it. And I mean, I play it a lot. I do love it. I could have taken it back to the store, or I could have sold it. But, you know, I may do, you know, because I can stretch a penny really, really well. I learned to do that with him. But he has a motivation for that. See, the entire time we were together, he always got what he wanted when he wanted it. But if I ever got something, he would say, hey, you got that. Now I need to go be able to spend money on something of equal or more value. It was never equal or less. It was always equal or more. So if I spent $40 on something, he had to go and spend at least $40 on something else, because then he sits there and says, well, you got that. That was $40. We're even. That's just how he is. And he always has to get something that's worth more money or costs more money. And so that's what it was. I don't know what he was wanting to buy, but also he was using money that was coming out of my account. He was not using his money. So, I don't know, he used it to try to get something else, and I think he ended up getting some games with it. So he didn't actually get to spend as much as I apparently spent on the Wii U, sorry. So, but that's how they manipulate you. They manipulate you into thinking that they're doing something for you, or that they're allowing you to do something. And then later on, it comes back to bite you in the butt. And you can't always see it. When it's in the moment, you can't always see the manipulation until it's already passed, and you're like, what the heck just happened? So with this group, they were just coming at me exactly how my mother would. They were being very crass and rude. There was absolutely no support, even though it is dubbed a support group. There was just none. And then, not only that, there was people making demands, telling me what I need to do. They don't know my situation or my life well enough to be telling me what to do. But the thing is it came off as bossy, not as advice. And there is a big difference. Because when I comment or reply to people, you know, trying to give them advice, I make it sound like advice. I don't come off as bossy. I'm like, hey, you know, it'd be maybe try this idea or that idea, and if that doesn't work, maybe this. But if you don't want to try all those, that's fine. It really depends upon your situation. These women that were on me were just demanding and then saying pretty much if I didn't follow their advice, then it was my fault. And the behavior is just going to continue. Well, the behavior is going to continue no matter what. So anyway, to people that are watching this, I need you to realize this YouTube channel is about talking about my narcissistic mother and my narcissist ex. They are two different, categories, because people who have narcissistic parents, they have way more empathy because they've been through it for so long and they've learned how to cope and deal with things differently than someone who has a narcissistic ex. A narcissistic ex, the victim or survivor, they're still hurt. They're still very angry. And they're more prone to lashing out at others in a different way than people raised by narcissistic parents. So when you watch these videos, I want you to, when you're reading the comments and stuff, please be careful how you reply to people. I actually had one commenter on here last week, and she made a whole bunch of comments, and I felt attacked because she was saying things exactly like my mother would, but she was replying to a video that mainly had to do with my ex. And so I realize what she was doing is she was probably someone who had a narcissistic ex versus a narcissistic parent. So I ended up deleting her comments because they kind of triggered me, and I didn't want them triggering anybody else. I'm trying to make this a safe channel where commenters or viewers aren't going to be attacked, because what we really need to do is understand and be gentle. Survivors, while they have survived what has gone on with their parent or their ex, they still need gentility and kindness, empathy, caring. They don't need to be attacked. If you can't get your point across without attacking somebody, then you shouldn't comment, you shouldn't reply, you shouldn't talk to this person at all. Because it's not the right way to go about it. Because what's going to end up happening is that person is going to feel attacked and they're just going to completely shut you out. And then you're kind of just going to look like a narcissist yourself. So anyway, I ended up deleting what I wrote and then left the group, and I went to my group that I'm in for people that have narcissistic parents, which I have been in for a year and a half now. Yeah, it's been about a year and a half. And I told them what happened, and they are the ones that told me, hey, there's a difference between being raised by a narcissistic parent versus being in a relationship with a narcissist. And I finally got it. I tried to do a little bit of research on it. I couldn't really find anything. I'm gonna look some more up, but just treat people the way you want to be treated. Don't come off to a stranger as a jerk or a bully just because you think that they might be stupid for falling yet again for one of their narcissist traps. Because it happens. The whole point of a narcissist is that even though you know they are a narcissist, they can still trick you. They can still manipulate you. They can still hurt you. Even when you go no contact, they still find ways to get at you and to affect you. That's their whole job of being a narcissist. Anyway, I hope you took some information in with this video. And I want to thank you guys for listening. And I hope you guys take care of each other. Have a good one.